In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the brand new JND postage frames from the John Next Door collection. And here's an example of the card we're going to make. The postage frames are such an adaptable set of dies. There's lots of different options that you can make using them. And again, just using the same colour scheme, you can see here where we've got this beautiful postage frame around the dots, or just a stacked layer. So to take you through the dies, what we're actually going to do is you get in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exact postage frames, and these have been sized around our standard sizing. So you have a 6-inch, you have a 5-inch, you have a 4-inch, a 3-inch and a 2-inch in each of the postage frames, but you also have a plain die. So you have a plain square die for each size as well, and these have been sized at 5.5, 4.5, 3.5, 2.5 and 1.5 inches. And then you actually have a dotted frame, and all this does is cut into the card, and these are separate dies, so these will cut into the card to give you that beautiful selection of dots, very similar to what I did in the layering dies, but this is a full set of squares, and these are done in 5.25, 4.25, 3.25, 2.25 and 1.25 inch. So they'll fit with all of your other dies within the press cut and John Next Door range, but very, very simple and easy to achieve. So we're going to start by layering some of these together to make ourselves some frames. So I'm going to bring in a piece of coconut white essential card to start with. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the largest, so the 6-inch frame, and we're going to take the next one down in the set, which is the 5-inch frame. But we're also going to add what I call effectively the sort of the 6-inch dotted and the 5-inch dotted into that. So we're simply going to tape those down to cut them. So I'm going to take a long piece of tape, and I'm going to pick up the first die in the set. I'm then going to hover over and pick up the next die. Again, hover over, get an even border, or you could use the Crafts 2 matte layering templates. And we hover over the last one, put that on. We tape that down and we run that through our die cutting machine. And when that's cut, we get this beautiful panel here where we've got all of the postage. So it's almost like a negative and a positive around the edges, but we have those beautiful dotted lines visible around that frame. So what we need to do next is we take a piece of card that's been cut to 6-inch square, which fits on here exactly. So it fits on absolutely beautifully. We're using this as a template. We then take the next die down in the set, which would be the 4-inch, and we would pop that in, make sure it's nice and evenly placed, add some tape, remove our frame, and we would run that through our die cutting machine to cut that panel, and that will give us this beautiful panel here. So as you can see, it fits on with a lovely aperture in the middle. So I'm going to stick these two together. So I've just got a little bit of foam tape on the back here, and as I say in every video, I'm using 2mm foam tape to give me the depth, but without actually giving me too much depth for postage. So we're just going to position that on nicely, and then we've got that beautiful edged frame in the pink. Next, we're going to take a piece of pink card. So this is, I'm using blush and rose pink again from the Craft Artist Essential collection. And I've had a little bit of foam tape on the back of here, because giving this little bit of dimension between different layers really does make this card sort of stand out and you see the detail. So this has been cut to 6.25 inches, which means we get that beautiful bright pink edge and the bright pink center. So what we need to do next is cut a middle bit for this. So I've taken a piece again of essential card in coconut white, and I'm going to take the 3-inch postage die set and the matching dotted die for that 3-inch, which is just there. And again, take a long piece of tape, pick up our center die, allows us to hover over and pick up the next one, and we can cut this anywhere. I'm going to put it exactly in the middle of this piece of card so that I can use this waste piece of card for another project. So we'll run that through our die cutting machine, and that will give us this beautiful piece here. Using my glue eraser, take a little glue mark off. You see there we've got the beautiful postage frame and then the dots all around it, almost like perforation marks. And you could tear on this, so you could use this line as a sort of tear for making tickets and things. And then finally, I'm going to take a piece of the blush pink, and I'm going to take the smallest, the 2-inch postage stamp die set. And again, I'm using this in the middle of a piece of card. You could do it anywhere, but again, it's so that I could use this frame for another project. And we run that through and cut that. And that gives us this beautiful piece here. And again, I've added a little bit of foam tape onto the back. So really simple. I'm going to take that off. And with the dots, I've got the perfect frame. It's so easy to get things straight with the dots. So a little bit of foam tape again on the back of this panel. So we'll take the foam tape off there. And we'll bring our panel in. And I just frame that again into the center. And I love this mix of color of going white, blush, rose, white, blush. It really mixes round. And to finish this one off, I've taken an 8x8 pre-made card blank, and I've matted and layered it with a white panel at 7.5, a blush panel at 7 5/8, and a rose panel at 7 3/4 inches, and just onto my 8x8 panel, so I get that beautiful framed look. And we could put the words in here like we've done on this one with Mother's Day, Happy Easter, Happy Birthday. You could stamp a sentiment or put a flower in, and then it's just really, really simple then to decorate it. So I'm just going to decorate this card, and I'm going to bring in here, I've made 3 of the blousey peony, and I've also made the peony leaves. But what I've done is I'm using these separately this time. So instead of actually cutting them out and putting the tops on, as you may have seen in the other video, I've done these so that I've just got almost like quilled leaves. So I'm going to take all of these, and I've cut these again in Crafts 2 or Craft Artist Essential card in field and in apple. And because these are quite fine, I'm going to use my fine tip glue applicator and just add, I've let this get a little bit watery, so just add a few little drops. So I'm going to go a little one there, and I'm going to mix up the colours. So taking a little bit here. So this is the field. So I'm going to add that one on. I'm then going to take the field again. I think we'll add that one there. And we'll take the apple and we'll add a few little dots onto the back of there. And we'll tuck that one in. So we've got that beautiful little collection. Just give it, well done, John. So put it into place. Use the palm of my hand. Just stick that down. Okay. I'm going to use one of the larger trios. Just in there. And I'm going to use one of the smaller trios and just tuck that into there so that we've got a mix of those colours. And we're just putting it beautifully over that bottom right hand or bottom left hand corner. So I've got some blousey peonies. These have been made up as per the blousey peony video. So if you want to know how to make these flowers, you'll find them really easy to make, and the video is there for you. So little collection of 3. I love flowers in 3s. I always say this, I'm with the gardeners when gardeners always say that flowers should be, and things should be planted in sort of odd numbers and clumps of 3. So I can then add a little bit more foliage in. Let's tuck that into there. So just using the blousy peony leaves, just to fill any gaps and make it look sort of special, I think is the word I would go with. So again, a little bit of glue on there. We've got a little gap there. So I'm going to pop that one in, and we'll pop this one in on top, so we've got that mix of colours. But there's your card all ready. Just for your sentiment to go in the centre, you can add some dewdrops onto here. You could add different colours. You could really go to town with this. I'm just going to take a few little dewdrops out. So I'm going to go and put some just coming out from these flowers. And I'm just using the clear ones on this one. Really think these add a little bit of interest to your card and a little bit of sparkle without adding glitter. Although I have to say, the peonies look absolutely beautiful if you spray glue them and dip them, sort of almost ice them with the craft artist crystal snow or laser glitter. And there we go, really simple frame card, just using 3 colours of card and just using the die set decorated with some peonies.